Hey, listen, the economy is about to have a lot of y'all out here getting bamboozled. Look at this, bro.
How are you supposed to stay with that in this economy? Let's talk about that. Y'all, I just went to the market, okay? I got some stuff to mix in my Alfredo.
Right.
The red meat was $20. Y'all, the red meat was $20. What is going on? Like, what's really going on? The red meat, like the ground beef, y'all, $20 for the ground beef, and it wasn't even a big one, y'all. It was a small one. But needless to say, if you are a man and you are trying to talk to me or you are trying to pursue me, and I hate to be this way, I hate what the world's coming to, but how are you supposed to stay with that nigga in this economy? Life is too high to just be talking to somebody, talk about what you're doing every day and trying to, no, you gotta spend money.
A lot of y'all are about to get a chance, fellas. They need help. A lot of people are about to start hitting you up. They need help. In this economy, she said the red meat, the ground beef was $20. They need help. They don't like you. They need help. They need help, bro. I'm literally leaving the barbershop. It's a lady that does hair right across the salon from my barber, right? And she's like, yeah, I just got me a new sponsor because he just bought her a facial steamer so she can continue to work. But she's like, yeah, I just got me a new sponsor, like a new investor. She said, I got a new investor. He like, damn, a new investor? Bro, they need your help. It's getting steep. They don't really like you. They just need your help.
Or you are trying to pursue me.
Right.
The red meat was $20. Y'all, the red meat was $20. What is going on? Like, what's really going on? The red meat, like the ground beef, y'all, $20 for the ground beef, and it wasn't even a big one, y'all. It was a small one. But needless to say, if you are a man and you are trying to talk to me or you are trying to pursue me, and I hate to be this way, I hate what the world's coming to, but how are you supposed to stay with that nigga in this economy? Life is too high to just be talking to somebody, talk about what you're doing every day and trying to.
Shalom.
And with that being said, ain't no man trying to come and save you hoes, man. That old Captain Save-A-Hoe spirit is dying off, if it's not dead already. But giving all praises to Yahweh by Shemal Shai. Again, to give all praises to Yahweh by Shemal Shai, man, because you people had your way. As I've been mentioning, when it comes to the other nations, Esau, whom the Lord hates, the Lord has allowed this devil to have his time to rule. And as well as you women, all right, you so-called women, you females, all right, you she-fails, all right, can't even call you bitches anymore because, hey, a dog is loyal, I like to say, man, hey, these hoes ain't loyal, they're loyal to the opportunity, but again, ain't no man coming to your rescue, and that's why, hey, Isaiah 4:1, once again, the Spirit is on apostles and brothers, because these warnings are going out, like the scriptures say. Go to this real quick in Isaiah 32 in verse 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease, and you women have been comfortable for a long time. All right. But now we're in a time where you women are being held accountable. You don't like it. It doesn't feel good. But hey, join the club. All right. Because the way that the Lord has gotten on his men, all right, trying and refine his men, you women are finding out you're not exempt from judgment. You're not special. All right. And everything is returning to its origins. All right. Everything is returning to its natural order. All right. It says, again, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And it mentioned, the point being to say, hear my voice. All right. Because this is a part of prophecy. This is a part of the doctrine. Jake always talking about women. You always want to get on the women. Well, it's a part of the doctrine. It is a part of prophecy. All right. You see, and again, to give a proper introduction, again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shemal Shai. And double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I am your brother Yabakal from Great Millstone, Orlando. All right, and this is just a video clip that this brother GMS Racha Gabar 144 did, and I'm just doing a commentary off of the brother's video. All right, because you know, the Lord has been setting brothers up for a long time. All right, it's been setting you hopefully like Akim up for a long time. What do I mean? Well, all the ghosting, right? You know, when a chicken head, she leaves you on read. She does you dirty. For as long as you can remember, the Lord's been setting brothers up, because and this is already happening to brothers, and it's only going to happen more and more. But the brother was going into in this video, he was touching on how, hey, chicks that you ain't heard from since high school, middle school, maybe even elementary. You know, like I said, them chicken heads that have been turning you down, doing you wrong, talking shit, whatever the case may be. More and more, they're going to start popping out the woodworks. All right. Because again, everything, like I said, is returning to its natural origins, its natural estate. And with that being said, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on you brothers, which is going to, in turn, cause just people in general. It doesn't have to be necessarily women, but just men, women, and children in general. But nevertheless, for the sake of this video, because like I just read, all right, hear my voice. And again, who's the voice of Yahweh Bashar Mashai? It's the men. All right, the prophets. All right, which, again, man, you people have turned a blind eye to the prophets for the longest. And as I've been saying, you know, as the Spirit has been on brothers, the ball is about to be in your court. Because the court belongs to you. On the court, goddammit. You on the court. You own the land that the court is on. All right. You know, it's your time to facilitate. Because again, you know, these women, though, they ain't loyal. They're loyal to their purpose, They're loyal to their feelings and to their cause. And that's why brothers have to do some extreme vetting when it comes to just people in general, who, you know, who comes around you, the people in your circle. All right. You know, because again, the Lord is dealing with you, and more and more is going to be shown, is going to be made known who the Lord was dealing with this whole time. So get ready. All right. Because more and more the Lord is stripping the comforts from this place. All right. And as I say, you know, Jake loves shiny shit. Jake loves pretty shit. Like moths attracted to that light, right? Well, hey, pursuing Ecclesiastes 8. Wisdom causes a man's face to shine. So where do you think these moths, what do you think they're going to be attracted to? You see, because again, that favor is going to be bestowed unto you brothers. So with that being said, I'm going to go to this. Where is that? Genesis. Because again, the Lord has been setting brothers up. You know, the Lord's been setting brothers up all our lives. That's why, you know, it gets to a point where, let's say you try to holler at a chick, right? You try to holler at a woman, you know, and you get the same old shit, right? The same old excuse. The same old excuse. Oh, I'm just not interested. Right? She might give you a fake number. Right? She might turn you down, whatever the case may be. But you get to a point where it's just like, all right, Lord, how are you setting me up? Because that's what I look forward to. I look forward to the victory. I look forward to, all right, if she say no, if she's bullshitting, right? Yeah, you go on about your day, right? Because that's one thing for certain. Brothers don't take any losses on this side. All right, there's no such thing as a loss. Our brothers don't take no losses on the side. So, in situations like that, man, I look forward to, hey, all right, Lord, how you gonna work this out in my favor? That's how brothers got to think. How are you gonna work this out for me in my favor? How's this gonna play out? How you gonna bring her? How you gonna bring her ass back around? That's why I want to get this. That's how brothers got to think. How you gonna do it for me, Lord? Every day I look forward to, all right, Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, how you gonna do it for me? That's hey, my mind is focused on the victory. All right, Lord, how you gonna do it for me? How you gonna do it for me today? The situation arises. Hey, Lord, well, how you gonna deliver me this time? I was just having a car problems this week. Yeah, having car problems all week. And instead of being in that down and out woe is me spirit, hey, and it is a thing of waiting patiently, waiting on the Lord's salvation. Scripture say, patiently wait on the Lord's salvation. So it is a thing of waiting. Like I said, all week I was dealing with car problems, and I got a lot of distractions going on, a lot of things, on my mind or whatnot. But it's just one of those things. It's like, all right, how you gonna do it for me this time? How you gonna get me through this one? And sure enough, the Lord came through. Not to get into the details, but hey, call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord did it. All right, and it's on to the next. No need to worry, no need to panic. Hey, the Lord's got you. The Lord is dealing with you. So have that attitude, have that mindset. How are you gonna work this out for me? I just did a live earlier today about, hey, the Lord's purposes compared to man's plan versus God's purposes. Yahweh Shema Shai, and his purposes. Hey, the Lord is very targeted with it. One of the definitions of that word purpose goes into aim. The Lord is surgical with the shit. The Lord be moving pieces. The Lord moves some pieces around on the behalf of brothers. So, again, the Lord is dealing with you, and it's just a matter of time. Like I said, man, the Lord has been setting brothers up this whole time. All of our lives, the Lord has been setting us up for the win, setting us up for the victory. It's just a matter of how's it going to play out. And that's how I look at it. And that's, I encourage brothers, hey, look at it from a victorious type of mindset. How are you going to do it for me, Lord? Right? Genesis 19. I'm going to start at 18. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. So you see, man, listen, at the end of the day, don't be afraid to talk to the Lord with confidence. All right? It's a special relationship between us and Yahweh Shema Shai, being the hopeful elect. It's a special relationship. And like I always say, act like it, walk like it, talk like it, think like it, be about it. You are it. All right. I say this every day to myself. I am this. This is me. You know. So, verse 21 it says, and he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning these things, also that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Hasty escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come hither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. So you see, all right, the Lord moving on the behalf of his elect. The Lord has a care unto his elect. The Lord is dealing with us, the hopefully elect brothers. And the Lord to have things work out on your behalf. The Lord already, like I said, moving the chess pieces on your behalf. You might be working at a bullshit job, man. And, you know, the Lord might have it to where, that, you know, because it's like the minute brothers have testimonies, you know, the minute, and I've noticed this within my life, you know, Lord willing, I be of that number, be in a certain situation where there might be staying with someone, working at a particular place, whatever. All right. You know, and while I'm there, the Lord will have things functioning. You'll have that, you know, he'll have that shit functioning. But the minute the Lord, you know, removes me out of that situation and, you know, it's just on to the next, hey, the Lord will shut that thing down, you know. Might be staying with someone, like I said, using as an example, right? You know, and let's say they don't do right by you, you know. Let's say they give you a hard time or whatever the case may be. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of Laban and Jacob. You know, Laban was able to get more years out of Jacob because basically he supplanted him, you know. And why was that? It was because while Jacob was with Laban, hey, Laban was being blessed, and Laban acknowledged that. He knew that. He understood it. So you know, the Lord had it to where, hey, you know, Laban was being blessed because Jacob. So going back to the example that I'm using, or just using an example rather, let's say you're staying with your people, and let's say they doing you wrong, right? They ain't doing right by you. Well, hey, listen, the Lord will have you to where you're buried. You deal with that low. And the minute you get on your feet, you know, and the minute the Lord gets you out of that situation and moves you on to the next, hey, you find out that they end up getting evicted, you know, or whatever the case may be. The Lord will jack them up, or whatever. Let's say you're working a bullshit job. You know, can't stand that job, but hey, you find another job, and then, you know, the Lord will have it to where, hey, that bullshit job, man, the Lord will have it to where that bitch catches fire, you know, and everyone's out of work at that job, man. Everyone's out of work. But here it is, like I said, the Lord moved you to another job, gave you another one. That's why we can't trip about none of this shit. Again, there's no such thing as losses on the side. We don't take any losses. All right. No losses, just experiences and lessons. All right. So the Lord will do things like that, man. On the behalf of his elect, the Lord moves things around. The Lord will move things around, and he'll shut shit down on the behalf of his elect. All right. So from there, because like I mentioned, hey, the Lord had that favor, right? You know, and basically, hey, like the Lord told Jacob, hey, for thy sake, you know, I won't do such until thou has, you know, fled to the city for thy sake. You see? So again, man, the ball is about to be in your court. All right. People are going to be, and this is just something that's been in my spirit as far as, you know, talking to brothers. Hey, get ready. All right. People, especially women, they're going to get desperate, real desperate. All right. And, these cats, man, they're going to start showing up on your job. They're going to start showing up at your house. The brothers that got ribs already, hey, women are going to be approaching your rib at the grocery store looking for you. They ain't going to give a damn about sharing a man in that day. All right? They ain't going to have no problem. Like you had the one Eve say, hey, that's not your nigga, that's our nigga. And that's going to be the sentiment. That's going to be the attitude. All right? Because it's going to get desperate out here. And these women, they're about to be in a real pitiful case. They already are, but it's just going to get worse. So these women, they're about to get real desperate and dire. Genesis 30. Because, you got Eve talking about, hey, you come to me, you approach me, hey, because, right now, like this clip is going into and the brother was going into in this video, like I said, these women, they're loyal to their cause. They're loyal to their emotions, their purpose. And right now, it's about survival. Right now, these women, they're opportunists. They're opportunistic. All right. But it's gonna get beyond that. All right. Right now, like the evil's going into in this video, in this clip. Hey, a man tries to approach me. Basically, she ain't trying to hear all that. It's just, hey, can you pay my bills? Type shit. Like, what can you do for me? Type shit. It's gonna get beyond that. All right. That's why, hey, Isaiah 4:1, these women, they're gonna be begging you to take away their reproach, man. It's gonna get desperate. Brothers are gonna have to beat these chickens off them, man. Genesis 30:1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. So you see, speaking as a man, you think Jacob was, in that, because one thing in this thing of ours, you have to have an outcome independent type of mindset rather than being outcome dependent. All right. No, we have to have an abundance type of mindset, an outcome independent mindset. All right. Not being outcome dependent, but an outcome independent mindset. Meaning, hey, you can care less at the end of the day. So with that being said, you're not going to have to chase anything. It is going to come to you. The women, these chickens, they're going to come to you. And if she don't want to get right, okay, on to the next. Again, we're not outcome dependent. Well, what if she says no? Oh. If she says no, she says no. It's doing you a favor. The water, how about your mouth shy? Hey. And again, going into that, having this outcome independent mindset, hey, if a woman tells you no, hey, the water, how about your mouth shy? It's really when she says yes. It's really when she says yes, that's when you want to, like, it's like, damn. Because then she's gonna want a deal, right? She's gonna want you to get comfortable. She's gonna want, eventually it's gonna get to a point, she's gonna want to take things more serious. What are we, right? She's gonna want to move in, or she's gonna want you to move in with her. She's gonna want you to move in with you, getting all in your personal space. Eventually, she's gonna want you to meet a mom, a dad, if she's got one, meet a family. So these are the things, like I said, if she says yes, that's when you want to, oh damn, because another thing I tell brothers, man, hey, have fun with it, man. Now we're not in the time to be, multiplying wives and none of that. But at the end of the day, men are men, all right? And, men have their desires, or whatever the case may be. One thing one advice I always give brothers, man, hey, have fun with it. Don't take none of this shit serious, especially a woman. Especially a chicken, man. Don't take no chicken serious, man. Have fun with it though. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. At the end of the day, you're a man. You know, have fun with it. You know, some brothers, the spirit has it to where, hey, they can deal with the multiple women. For other brothers, it's not for you. You know, but that's not to say you can't have fun with it. Go ahead and get that little experience in. Like I said, there's no such thing as loss on this side. It's nothing but experiences. So go ahead and get your little experience. Have fun with it. But don't take none of this shit serious. Damn sure don't take a woman serious. All right? These Western women, for sure, you don't want to be, head over heels for. No, man. All right? Like I said, they're going to be coming to you. All right? So in Genesis 30:1 again. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. Matter of fact, verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I in the most high steed? Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? So basically, like I said, do you think Jacob was tripping? Jacob wasn't tripping. Hey, that's that's that abundance, that outcome independent mindset. Regardless of how this plays out, hey, at the end of the day, hey, how about Shimon Shai? We got bigger, more important fish to fry. It wasn't like Jacob was tripping or anything like that, but the point being the attitude, the state of mind, because this is a part of that reproach. All right. That women are going to be begging the man of the Lord to take away that reproach, that shame. I'm not Miss Independent. Like brothers say all the time, you want to do bad by yourself? Well, you're going to have to eat them words, all right? Because you're going to do bad by yourself over there somewhere. Like I said, that whole Captain Save a whole spirit, these women are complaining, crying out that the man ain't checking up on them. And you goddamn right. Like my the elder bro, man, always giving wise words, man. The elder bro, Nahoya, man. He said, hey, I'm not finna beg you to spend my money. I ain't finna beg you to spend my money, because, you still have Jake out there, man. They try to, do the right thing or whatever the case may be. You try to holler at the chick, your intentions are for the most part, pure. You want to take the broad out and shit. Because one way or the other, you're going to pay for the box. One way or the other, you got to pay. So for the most part, all these women are, for the most part, prostitutes. Because one way or the other, you got to pay for it. One way or the other. But like my bro said, hey, I'm not finna pay you to spend my money. No, I mean, hey, it's on to the next. And like I said, overall, have fun with the shit. Have fun with it, Have fun with it. But as a man, and especially a man of you, how about Shimon Shai, we ain't got to chase shit. All right? It's going to come to you. All right? Because like I said, everything is returning to its natural origins. And these women, they're going to find out. They're going to find out. All right? That's why, hey, man, a man of the Lord is going to be precious in that day. All right? It's going to be made known. It's going to be shown you brothers are the prize. You're the prize. It's not these women. It's not the other way around. They're going to find that out. All right? So just keep in mind, and get ready, because it's coming. All right? The Lord is dealing with you. He ain't dealing with these people. He damn sure ain't dealing with dealing with these women on any type of level. The only way that the Lord is dealing with a woman is through a man of Yahweh Shem Shai. So, these women, they got to come to you. They got to come to us. All right? And that's why, the apostles been saying for years, man, hey, just be patient. I know it's easier said than done. This shit's hard. Brothers burning. Like I said, we're men at the end of the day, but just be patient. It's going to come. And that's why I did the video the other day. You women, you're going to have to come extra humble, extra correct. All right? Because brothers are on a whole nother wavelength, And you want me? Hey, you're just going to have to, get with the program. Keep up, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praises to you. How about Shemal Shai? Shalom to you. Hopefully, let.